Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today I am going to give you a bit of an update on some projects here on the patio, and then we are going to go plant a very fun, unique shade planter. Complete shade, dead shade. These plants are going to do great and love it, and it's going to be a fun addition to the woodland garden. But we are here on the back patio. You saw me plant up my 2 western urns here along the seating wall. It is the, very end of August, very beginning of September here in North Carolina, Zone 8A. And y'all, I'm just going to tell you, I'm done with the heat. Over it. I think most Southerners are done with the heat, except those that absolutely adore the heat. It is going to be 96 today. It's going to be 96 tomorrow. Maybe a slight chance of rain. So we are definitely having one last big hurrah with summertime and its weather. And but I'm ready for fall. So what I am doing is, you may notice, if you are a faithful watcher of Gardening with Creekside, does the patio look a little different? Yes, my friends, the cleomes are gone. Jackson came in this week for me, bless his sweet little heart, and took out the cleomes. And yes, I even took out the caladiums. I got rid of the caladium hanging baskets. I am ready for a fresh, clean slate. I want things neat and tidy. I told Jerry, I was like, everything is so big and the cleomes were massive. I was starting to get a little claustrophobic when we were sitting on the porch. But what I did do is go ahead and plant these sweet little Forever Goldies in the 2 urns. These will stay here all winter. They will stay here until the spring when I do my spring/summer planting. Forever Goldies are a great little arborvitae, love the full sun, and I don't say little, these are particularly happen to be little, which I need them to be, but they are a full sun arborvitae that love the sun. They need the sun to stay that beautiful chartreuse color. They are hardy in zones 5 to 8, I believe. So for me, being in 8A, these are a perfect winter container plant. Now, if you're in a zone 5, you may not be able to have them in a container because they're not going to be as insulated. Here, they will do great. Am I going to plant anything underneath them? No, I am not. I garden here in North Carolina. I mean, we garden year round essentially, but from March through now, we garden hard and we garden hard and we garden hot, y'all. And when I hit the fall and I hit the winter, I want that to be a season of rest. I need it to slow down. And in the past, I have done like pansies and violas in these urns. And when they start looking sad, it stresses me out, because then I'm like, then I feel guilty because I should go out there, I should do this, I should do that. I don't want to feel guilty about my plants in the wintertime. I just want to look out and see these cute little arborvitaes right here, and they're great and they're happy, and I'm not going to have to worry about them. We do have drip irrigation on them, so they have that little thin brown tubing. The irrigation has been off. We're going to be turning it back on today because it's just gotten so hot and so dry and everybody needs some water. So cute little Forever Goldies. These were 3 gallons. And what I had to do, because while the western urn looks deep, it's not that deep. And so what I did is just kind of went in there and zhuzhed up the soil, broke up the root balls some. They were not root bound whatsoever, but they did have healthy roots, but I wanted to get as much soil off of them as I could so that they could nestle down in there nice and deep, not be sticking up too high. I did my whole method of compost, potting soil, biotone of course is in there, and top dressed with the land and sea, and everybody is well watered. So yes, the Torrenia is out, the cleomes are out. Let's pop up here real quick because I want to show you, give you an update on the deck boxes. You were with me a few weeks ago when I took the hedge trimmers to the deck boxes, and I completely, whacked them back. I cut them all along the side, I took the top off, and I took the other side off. And they are coming back quite nicely. These are on drip irrigation, so they get watered every day. I have done the Proven Winners water soluble fertilizer 2 times, and here you go. So some little areas are coming back faster than others, probably because of, the sun and things. Some of the plants are coming back faster, just faster than others. So for example, like the new Kufia that's going to be out next year. So the new Kufia and the new Mini Vista Love both of these, but everything's filling in, right? And then of course the Angelonia, that is new next year too from Proven Winners, nice and white. But yeah, could not be happier with how this is developing. And when I say like how things are developing, so the pink cashmere Superbena, this end gets full hot sun, right? So as soon as the sun comes up, it gets that sun, as opposed to right here on this corner, right? You can still see that part of this is in the shade. It does get the afternoon sun, but that's what I'm saying as far as like you can tell the difference in blooms, and that is amount of sun. So it's got buds all over it. It's just a little bit behind, but does that bother me? Not at all. I am happy with how this is developing. I don't have any plans for ripping this out because it's gorgeous, it's healthy, it's lush, it doesn't look sad, it doesn't look tired, and that is because I went ahead and cut it back. If I had not cut it back, honey, this stuff would be being ripped out like right now because I would not be able to handle it. But as nice, as thick and beautiful and lush as it is fine, it is staying until it starts looking sad. And then she's gone. My plans for this for the winter are that I am, as of right now, I'm going to say this on camera, I'm not going to put any violas, pansies, kale. I'm not going to plant it. I did it last year and I loved it. I don't think I'm going to do it this year. I think I'm just going to fill it full of tulips. So I have tulips arriving from Color Blends very beginning of December, and I think what I'm going to do is just mass plant the whole entire thing in tulips along with the backyard and everything. So I think that's what I'm going to do. It could change. Quick little update on this container. This is that container that has the caladiums and the apple blossom begonias. They're doing well. They're looking a little tired because this is obviously not only drip irrigation. I have to water this. I have to hand water it, and I was neglectful a couple of days. So she's trying to bounce back. I've been very faithful, and of course the roots are all throughout there. So as long as I have to stay on top of it with water, then they should be fine. Let me show you really quickly, because there was something as I was working in the bed and watering, I wanted to tell you. So my southern people who have gardenias, not gardenias, well, you can have gardenias too, camellias. Those of you that have camellias, I want you to be aware, especially if they're, quote, relatively new camellias, to be aware of what we call bud drop. So here we are, well, I don't say it was one last, we'll probably have a couple more hurrahs of summer. If you notice on your camellias, especially your sasanquas, even my japonicas have already started developing their buds. So when you see your buds forming on your camellias, right? So this is the white shishi camellia from Southern Living. It is covered in buds. I want every single one of those buds to go ahead and bloom. I do not want the camellia to drop those buds, but it can happen, especially this time of year. So what is bud drop? How do you prevent it? And yeah, bud drop is when the camellia has formed its flower buds, right? So we have buds on there, and then all of a sudden, like right now, it is hot and it is dry. And you go for that extended amount of time of hot and dry, and the plant doesn't get any water. The plant its main goal is to self-preservation, right? It's going to preserve its roots. It doesn't really care about the flowers. It wants to maintain the overall health of the plant. So what it will do is if it gets in distress and gets too dry, it will begin dropping its buds. Therefore, it's trying to say, okay, buds, you're not completely necessary for the overall health of this plant. You're out of here, you're gone. I'm going to conserve my water and put it in the roots. We don't want that because we want all those beautiful flowers. So what we need to do is make sure that your camellias are getting adequate water. So this area is just, it bakes all day. And so with the camellias, this white shishi, it loves the sun. So as you can see, I have my hose out, and I am making sure that this gets plenty of good water during this heat wave until we get some rain. The Senorita Rosalita Cleome were taking up so much of the moisture in these beds. So I have gone through, this is the second time that I've watered them. And so I'm just going to maintain them, keep them watered, give them a good, if you can do a heavy watering, that would be preferable, as they can get a nice, good, heavy drink of water and get down deep down into the roots. Now I'm going to show you really quickly an update on the begonias. Remember we planted the double up white begonias the other week, and I had cut them back. So there you go. they are flushing out. These again are not specifically on irrigation, but they're flushed out, they're tight, they're getting some buds on it. So it probably wouldn't hurt for me to go ahead and come back through, do a little bit of water soluble fertilizer. We are supposed to get some rain here in the next couple of days. It's not a huge guarantee, but I wanted to give you just an update so you could see how these begonias are doing. Overall, I'm pleased with how they're doing, especially since I literally planted them and walked away and have not touched them. So that is kind of an update back here in the garden. So what we're gonna do is head up to the shade garden behind the chicken coop because I have a fun shade planter that I want to show you. My friends, we're standing here in the shade and there is a breeze blowing. Oh, thank you, Lord. It feels fantastic. All right, so what we're going to do is just really quickly, I'm going to just kind of explain it and I'm going to do it and then we'll give it a little tour up here. So right there is a unique stone container that Mimi and I came up here. We scattered out the whole area and we decided that that was the best place for this little container to go. Now, the sun that you see on this container is literally the absolute most sun that it gets all day. It's 10:45 in the morning because the sun comes up right through here and then it goes and sets directly in front of me. There's trees all around it, so this little bit of filtered sun is what the sun that is the most that it gets all day. We're on the very back little corner here. What we're gonna plant in there is an aspidistra, a cast iron plant, and then we're gonna put in 3 of the little tiny, like the little miniature hostas. I am so excited about this. So what we're gonna do is, of course, you know my method of planting containers. We put a nice layer of compost down, great potting soil, using that biotone, top dress with the compost. So that's what I'm gonna do, get it planted, and then I'm gonna share with you the names and the different ones that we're gonna be using today. This is such a cute little fun project that I can't wait to get done. Just like that, the planter is all planted. The plants are all snug in their new home, and now we just sit back and let them grow, bloom, and thrive in their new home. So just to kind of give you a little perspective of where this corner is, it literally is on the tippy corner of this bed. I call it kind of like it's a shade sun island bed. So it's, you know, obviously there's the chicken coop, but it literally is on the very far corner right here. And you can see that it's already now back in the shade. So there you go. This is the square armillary planter from Unique Stone. I love having the different like shapes, whether they're, you know, ovals, they're circles, they're urns, they're squares, they're just, you know, all sorts of different fun kind of textures and interests. So I thought this would be cool to have this one up here because I don't really have a true square planter. And with the finish on this one, I believe this is light walnut. It just kind of blends in and just looks very natural right here. Can leave this out year round for many years to come until the plants outgrow this container. So this is the cast iron plant here in the back. It is an evergreen perennial that does great in shade and especially in dry shade. So this will be nice to have this in this container. I know that I have it with hostas. Hostas tend to like a little bit more water, but they're not water hogs, and having it in a container that drains, these should pair really well together. And then here we have some of the mouses. There is a whole series of miniature hostas that kind of belong to the mouse family. This is sun mouse right here. So cute, nice and chartreuse. They're not, the minis truly are mini because their little leaves are not going to get very big. And so, you know, if in 2-3 years, whenever it is that they outgrow this container, not a problem. You just take them out and either put them in the landscape or put them in a different container. So you have sun mouse. I believe this is Mighty Mouse here in the back. The name was not on the container, but I believe this is Mighty Mouse. And then over here on the left, we have Pandora's Box. I decided to put the sun mouse in the middle since they kind of, Mighty Mouse and Pandora's Box have similar colors. Yes, they have different leaf shapes and the coloring is different on them, but I thought having that sun mouse in the middle would be really fun. Of course, hostas are going to, quote, disappear in the winter. As soon as you get a heavy frost or maybe even a hard freeze, all your foliage is going to completely die. The plant is still there. The plant is still alive. It's all about the root system, my friends. And then come early spring, they will sprout back up again. Cast iron plant, again, is a nice evergreen. So even in the winter, I will have some interest in this container. So really excited about that. And yeah, so as we go through the chicken coop gardens here, we just grow and develop these gardens as we go along. Remember, this whole area is we've just passed kind of the 1 year mark. We're not even kind of at 15 months yet, and this whole area is just growing and developing and doing quite nicely. So wanted to give you a quick little update on the Mangave planter that we have, that you were with me just the other week, and you can see how well everybody is getting adjusted to their new home. The portulacas have just darkened up so nicely, starting to trail over a little bit. Nice hot pink color on them. Yeah, so everybody's doing well. Loves the sun, nice companion plantings. In the wintertime, of course, I can bring that Mangave in. It's a great adaptable as a house plant. The girls, I was trying to beat the sun today as far as gardening, so they have not been fed, and so they have not gotten their mealworms today, so they're getting a little vocal, and they're like, come on mom, get it together, come feed us. So I need to go feed them right quick. Let's you want to see if we have any eggs? We haven't collected eggs. We've been getting about 4 or 5 eggs, so let's see. So this is what's so fun, and y'all just ignore the cobwebs because this is real life chicken. Look at that. They did good. So we've got 2, 4, 6 eggs in there. Yay! I tell you what, y'all, there is nothing like fresh eggs straight from your own chickens. It is great. All right, as always, we hope you have found this fun, informative, and inspirational. I need to go take care of the girls, give them some water, give them some food. We'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, friends.